I am not in Smithers, before you ask. I wish I could keep my engine running, but this bike, if you put the stand down, the engine can't stay running. Reason for that is I've seen 5.5 black bears so far in the month and a half I've been here. And but I just saw my first grizzly down there before the turnoff for here, and also before the red sign, I guess, for golfing or something like that. And he was on the left, and he kind of ran the other way when he heard me pass by. So, and he's not fully grown, but he's still pretty big. But I think he was scared, just not used to not being alone. And so hey, yeah, maybe not the best time to come check out this place, because it's half paved, but then it's gravel after that, the other half. And you know, these are kind of new street tires. But they are, you know, new street tires. You know, they're not, if I still had the Super Sherpa, oh man, we even had like put on, the mechanic that sold it to me was his ex-wife's, and he, you know, kept it in good shape. We had very aggressive tires. I switched onto it, more aggressive. Anyway, speaking of ex-wives or whatever, is yeah, I sold that Super Sherpa and a few other things. If I had a red, you know, tractor, I would have sold that. Big screen TVs. I actually sold both our big screen TVs to this Filipina, and I don't want to say ex-wife because I found out later we weren't legally married. It's a long story. And she got so many things. She had like maybe $5,000 worth of stuff, including books. That's rare that I would let that go. But an unhealthy relationship that isn't gonna keep getting better, when in the couples counseling, you know, the couple was never prioritized, then, you know, you let go stuff you don't want to carry around everywhere. You know, you want to be a free person. And I don't mean free to be with other women. I mean free to be in a healthy relationship. It's very different. Yeah, she never paid me all the things that I brought down to $1,000, including a lot of things that I just gave her that weren't part of that $1,000. And that's, you know, that's part of the thing. Filipinas, you know, keeping agreements, which is crucial for relationship, but when it involves assets or money, it's not kept. So can you be really legally married to any Filipina? Well, if you can, good, tell me how that's going, and I'd like to hear about it in the comments. And it's not that she wasn't beautiful, that I couldn't forgive a lot of things, but eventually when, you know, the wrong things are given priority, and the patterns are not worked on that are unhealthy, then, you know, that's what it goes. Anyways, this is about work industries, by the way, and there is a link. You know, like recently, you know, I put screenshots on my Facebook to follow up with stories I'm currently covering in my YouTube. And one of the things is I put screenshots of the answer from the BC Ministry of Health from like June 9th that I got this week, so about 6 weeks later. And no matter what level the public servant is, and no matter which government, let's say in Canada, what type, and it's probably not just Canada, is you'll get generic response largely with a little bit typed in there. And sometimes you can tell the difference based on the quality of writing that's related to you. And they never acknowledge you as existing as an individual, because they pick and choose. They pick and choose what to respond to, what part of reality they want to incorporate in their lives, you know, whether it'll have an impact on their job or not. And usually if they ignore people, it doesn't have a negative impact on their job if they're public servants. Now, what I fear is, what if public servants may not already be like this, pick and choose what reality to respond to in interacting with other people, primates? What if they weren't like this, but they keep doing it at work, which they would, because that's how you keep a public servant job and the paycheck coming in? Then of course these intellectual laziness and lack of people skills and relationship skills would go into their own personal relationships. So they would then, being a public servant, become less and less able to be a parent, or be a child to a parent, or be a spouse, or a fair member of a community like a sports club, or keeping agreements, deciding what to pick and choose to respond to in communication. So that's pretty sad. And of course, what is also a typical pattern in these public service responses is they say, we care so much about British Columbia, all British Columbians, blah, 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 and this is what we're working on for all of them. Now, if you add up all the emails where individuals are responded to in this way, where we don't really matter because they're busy caring about all British Columbians, well, when you add up all these individuals, British Columbians, then it adds up to they don't care about anybody, because they do this as a culture. It's systemic, and they do it for their entire lives, and they even do it and convince their own loved ones to accept it when they interact with other public servants who are also now dysfunctional in all types of relationships.